My dear colleagues, today I'm going to share a story with you about a young man who in 1971 war fought so bravely that he became a national hero and left his mark in the annals in the military history. His name was Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal. He was born in 1950 in Pune into a military family where his father was a serving lieutenant colonel. Arun, as a young boy, was a dynamic young man, joined the Lawrence School SNAR, where he excelled in studies, excelled in games. Later on, he joined the National Defence Academy, Khadakwasla, where he excelled again in the academy and he became the Squadron Cadet Captain of Foxtrot Squadron, and later joined the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, where he really did well for himself, and he was commissioned into a very famous and elite regiment called the 17 Pune Horse. 17 Pune Horse had a history of 150 years of fighting, was that time being commanded by a famous Lieutenant Colonel Hanuj Singh, who later became Lieutenant General and also got a Mahavir Chakra in the same battle. When Arun joined the regiment, he was detailed for the young officers course at Ahmednagar, near Pune. This course is mandatory for the young officers to command the tank troop. If you do not do this course, you are really a novice and you don't know how to go into war. When Arun heard that he is going to be sent for this course, he sought a CO's interview, went to the commanding officer, General Hanuj, and told him, "Sir, if you please do not send me to this course, that if I go for this course for 6 months, I will miss the war. And this is going to be the only lifetime opportunity I'll ever get. And if you allow me to undergo all the tests in the regiment and you test me and you allow me and you test me and if you think I'm fit to go to war, then you take the call." The commanding officer agreed and he tested Arun over a period of 3 months, and Arun was found fit to command a tank troop, and CO decided that he is fit to go into war along with the regiment, which was deployed and which was tasked to be going into battle in the Shakargarh sector near Jammu. In the last stages of the Indo-Pak War, on 15th of December 1971, 47 Infantry Brigade was asked to establish a bridgehead across the river Basantar. A bridgehead is a position from where own troops can launch further assault deep into Pakistan. The 47 Infantry Brigade established a bridgehead, captured all its objective, and they were formed up on the ground when they saw that the large tank concentration of Pakistan army was building across the border. They asked for immediate tank support. The problem was that the entire area was mined, but the commanding officer, General Hanuj, took a chance and he led the tank and he linked up with the 47 Armored Brigade, and then they deployed to meet the Pakistani counterattack, which was anytime due. The 8th Armored Brigade of Pakistan, which has 3 tank regiments, attacked this position in the morning at 8 o'clock. The attack was so fierce that had they broken through, there would have been a carnage, and they would have reached the Jammu-Pathankot highway and cut off almost 1/3 of the Indian army into Jammu and Kashmir. The situation was desperate, and this happened to be the biggest tank battle after World War II, after the Battle of Palj. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal got enmeshed into the vortex of this battle. The orders of the commanding officers were that nobody will withdraw an inch and they will stand up and fight where they are. In the desperate tank battle which followed for almost 6 hours, Arun and his troop destroyed 7 Pakistani tanks. In the final assault of the tank battle, Arun's tank was hit. When Arun's tank was hit, he was asked by another squadron commander of his, "Arun, your tank has been hit, is on fire. You abandoned the tank." Arun said, "Sir, my gun is still firing. I'm going to get these so-and-sos, and you don't worry about me." So when that was going on, his driver told him, "Saab, tank में आग लग गई है, थोड़ा पीछे हटके आग बुझा लेते हैं." बोलता, "ना तो सिंह, आपने सीओ साहब का आदेश नहीं सुना, 1 इंच भी पीछे नहीं हटना है, यही खड़े होकर लड़ना है." When that happened, Arun was still engaging the enemy tanks which were withdrawing. The Pakistani tanks regrouped and they did a final desperate charge. In that battle, Arun's tank was hit for the second time by Pakistani major tank called Major Nisar. They both almost shot at each other, and Arun's tank caught fire. In that, Arun was seriously injured, and his drivers, when he went to him, he said, "Prayag Singh, humko pani pilao." So it was bitterly cold morning. They pulled him out of the tank and they put the boiler up and made hot cup of tea. And by the time they brought the tea to Arun, Arun was gone. Had Arun not stood his ground that day, the Pakistani tank would have had the breakthrough across the 47 Brigade and would have definitely cut off the Jammu-Pathankot highway. And that was a critical strategic victory they would have achieved, but that a single man's action saved the day. The story doesn't end here. When Arun was going to join his regiment, his mother came to see him off at Delhi railway station. She told him, "Your grandfather was a brave man, your father's a brave man, you go and fight like a lion." Arun really fought like a lion, and for his heroism, for his valor, and for his sacrifice beyond the call of duty, he was awarded the highest gallantry medal of India, the Param Veer Chakra. He was the only man who saved the day, a young man of 21 years who created history, as I said. And the story doesn't end here. Much later, his father, then Brigadier Khetarpal, 81 years of age, decided to visit his old ancestral village in Sargodha, Pakistan. Luck would have it that his liaison officer was a guy called Brigadier Nasir. He went to Pakistan, stayed at Brigadier Nasir's house for 3 days as a guest. And during those 3 days, he was well looked after. And when he was about to leave, Brigadier Nasir came and said, "Sir, I have something to confess." So he said, "What is to confess?" He said, "Sir, I'm the one who shot your son's tank. That time I was Major Nasir. We both were soldiers. We were fighting for our country. We did not know. And I know how bravely Arun had fought that day. And I salute him. And I now know how he turned out to be such a young, fine man." Brigadier Khetarpal didn't know what to say, but he really admired the honesty and the courage of a soldier, a rival Pakistani soldier, who had admitted that Arun really was the man who stood between the defeat and the victory that day. Much later, when he came back to Delhi, he got a handwritten note from same Major Brigadier Nasir. He said, "Sir, it was the counterattack of 13th Lancer Pakistan was defeated and decimated by one young man, Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal, and I salute him." So this is where the story really ends. And at the age of 21 years, a young man who will always go down, as the greatest in the history of Indian armies and all. His bust is in the National War Memorial, Delhi. If you ever go to National War Memorial, Delhi, go and pay a visit and show your respect. Arun stood for Chetwood motto. When we were in the military academy, Dehradun, a motto of the academy is the safety, honor, and the welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The safety, honor, and the welfare of the men you command comes next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety comes last, always and every time. I think Arun really stood by that motto and gave his ultimate sacrifice for the regiment, for the country, for the honor, and not for the money, not for fame, not for power, for a cause which is much higher. It cannot be described. So I'll end by quoting from a block which is at Rezaullah in Ladakh, from another place where epic battle was fought in 1962 by Major Shaitan Singh and his troops, where they fought to the last man and last round against hordes of Chinese. It says, "On every man upon this earth comes death sooner or later. But how can a man die better than facing heavy and fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and for the temples of his gods?" So Arun also fought desperately, bravely, beyond the call of duty. And I think he created history. His story is also described by the Pakistanis in their military history. And he is a legend. I salute him. And with this, I'll end this episode. Thank you so much.